Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The Los Angeles sun was dipping below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the skyline, when Travis Scott finally decided he'd had enough. For months, rumors, paparazzi flashes, and social media whispers had swirled around his personal life. And while Travis was no stranger to the glare of public scrutiny, there were certain things he would no longer tolerate, especially when it came to Kylie Jenner and a certain Hollywood actor. Travis had always been private in his own way. His concerts were epic, his music otherworldly, and his appearances carefully curated. Yet, in the realm of romance and personal relationships, he had tried to shield his life from prying eyes. That buffer had cracked recently. Kylie, his longtime partner and the mother of his child, had been thrown into a whirlwind of high-profile events, charity galas, and Hollywood parties where new faces kept popping up, and not all of them friendly. It was during one of these parties, a glamorous, star-studded affair at a Hollywood Hills mansion, that Travis's patience began to fray. The mansion's pool reflected the night sky like a mirror, and the sounds of soft electronic music mingled with the laughter of Hollywood's elite. Travis leaned against a marble pillar, his iconic Cactus Jack hoodie pulled over his head, scanning the crowd. And then he saw him, Timothée Chalamet. The name alone made Travis's jaw tighten. The young actor, with his boyish charm and penchant for landing roles in the most critically acclaimed films, had been a topic of conversation among Kylie's friends for weeks. There were whispers of a closeness, subtle gestures, and shared jokes that Travis had noticed, but tried until now to dismiss. "Look at him," Travis muttered under his breath as Kylie floated through the crowd, laughing with her friends. The sight of Timothée, so effortlessly charming, nudged something protective and primal in Travis. He wasn't someone to start conflicts casually, but when it came to Kylie, he drew a hard line. Kylie noticed Travis's gaze and furrowed her brow. "Travis?" she asked, her voice cutting through the music. He shook his head slightly, signaling that she shouldn't worry, but the tension was there, unmistakable. Later that evening, after the party had quieted and the Los Angeles skyline glittered beneath them, Travis decided to speak his mind. They were alone in Kylie's sleek, minimalist car, the hum of the engine blending with the soft beats of his playlist. "Kylie," he started, his voice calm but firm, "we need to talk about something." Kylie glanced at him, curiosity laced with concern. "What is it, babe?" "It's about him, Timothée," Travis said, his eyes locking with hers. "I don't like him, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm uncomfortable with how close you two are." Kylie's expression softened, and she reached for his hand. "Travis, you know I love you. Timothée is just a friend. We talk about movies, fashion, and sometimes we collaborate for events. It's nothing more than that." "I get that, Kylie," Travis said, squeezing her hand, "but there's a vibe. I can feel it, and I don't want to be in a position where I have to guess or compete with someone else for your attention. That's not me. I'm not the type to play games." The tension in the car was palpable, yet there was a certain intimacy in their honesty. Kylie, who had spent her life navigating public attention, understood the weight of Travis's words. They weren't accusations, they were a reflection of his boundaries. "You don't have to worry about that, Travis," Kylie replied softly. "You and Stormy are my priority. You know that." Travis nodded, feeling a slight relief wash over him. But the night wasn't over, and the matter of Timothée lingered in his mind. He knew the world would speculate, gossip would swirl, and headlines would emerge. Yet he also understood that this was about setting boundaries, not about controlling Kylie's life. The next morning, Travis took to his studio, the place where he felt most at peace. Music was his sanctuary, and today it became his outlet for frustration and determination. He picked up a pen and began to scribble down lyrics, letting his emotions flow freely. "I draw the line, I set the stage. No one crosses, no one plays. It's my world, it's my love, my way. I protect what's mine every day." The lines weren't just words, they were a declaration. Travis knew that fame came with complications, with faces and influences that could sway emotions, but some things were non-negotiable, and Kylie was at the heart of that truth. In the following days, the dynamics around Kylie and Travis became the subject of intense media speculation. Paparazzi captured images of Kylie attending events with Timothée, often in large groups where intimacy was ambiguous. Social media, of course, exploded. Fans and gossip accounts dissected every photo, every glance, and every smile. But Travis remained composed. He didn't confront the actor publicly, he didn't post cryptic messages or engage in petty disputes online. Instead, he focused on his work, on his music, and on maintaining a healthy relationship with Kylie. He knew the difference between insecurity and intuition, and he trusted his instincts. One late night, during a private dinner at their favorite Los Angeles rooftop restaurant, Travis and Kylie revisited the topic. The city lights sparkled beneath them, the air carrying a soft chill. "Kylie," Travis said, looking over the balcony, "I've been thinking a lot about this, and I don't want this to turn into something ugly between us. I want honesty. Always honesty." Kylie smiled, a mix of love and amusement in her eyes. "I appreciate that, Travis, and you know you'll always get that from me. Timothée is just a friend, like I said. I understand your concern, but trust has to exist, you know?" "I do, and I trust you, but I also want to make sure that the lines are clear. I'm protective, Kylie, not controlling. Protective." She reached across the table, taking his hand again. "I know, and I love that about you. That's why this works. We're in this together." The conversation, though serious, reinforced the strength of their bond. Travis realized that expressing his discomfort didn't mean imposing his will, it meant communicating and setting healthy boundaries, and Kylie, in turn, reassured him with openness and understanding. However, the story didn't end there. Hollywood gossip never sleeps, and word inevitably reached Timothée. The young actor, known for his grace under media scrutiny, chose the high road. He reached out to Travis privately, acknowledging the tension without confrontation. "Hey Travis," Timothy's message read, "I get it, no hard feelings. Kylie's your world and I respect that. Let's keep it simple and professional." Travis read the message, a small smile tugging at his lips. Respect. That's all he wanted. Not drama, not headlines, not unnecessary conflict. Respect. In the following weeks, life settled into a comfortable rhythm. Kylie and Travis continued their projects, family time with Stormy became the centerpiece of their lives, and public appearances were carefully curated to avoid unnecessary speculation. But the experience had taught Travis something important. Boundaries weren't about fear, they were about clarity, honesty, and protecting what mattered most. Meanwhile, the media continued to churn stories, but Travis learned to rise above it. The paparazzi, the rumors, the whispers, they were all part of the game, yet he had drawn his line, and in doing so, he had strengthened his relationship rather than undermining it. One late night, as Travis walked through his private studio garden, the lights casting soft shadows on the palm trees, he reflected on the events. He thought about Kylie, Stormy, the pressures of fame, and the need to stay grounded. In a world obsessed with drama, he realized the real victory was maintaining authenticity, protecting love, and setting limits with grace. His phone buzzed. A new text from Kylie. "Dinner tomorrow? Just us. No drama, no gossip. Just us." Travis smiled. That was exactly what he needed. He replied with a simple, "It's a date. Always." And in that moment, Travis Scott knew that drawing the line wasn't about pushing people away, it was about defining what mattered most. He had expressed his dislike, set boundaries, and navigated Hollywood's treacherous waters with dignity, and most importantly, he had preserved the love and trust that defined his life with Kylie. Because in the end, fame could create illusions, rumors could distort reality, and gossip could inflame insecurities. But boundaries, honesty, and mutual respect, those were the foundations that couldn't be shaken, not even by Timothée Chalamet. Travis turned to the skyline, taking a deep breath. The city lights shimmered like stars fallen to earth, and he felt a quiet sense of triumph. He had faced the tension, expressed his feelings, and held his ground, and as long as he stayed true to himself and his values, nothing could take that away. Love, after all, wasn't about perfection. It was about clarity, communication, and courage. And Travis Scott, superstar, father, and partner, had all three in abundance. The night stretched on, quiet except for the distant hum of Los Angeles nightlife. Travis felt a calm he hadn't known in weeks, a peace born from honesty and mutual respect. Whatever the headlines said tomorrow, he knew the truth, and in a world that constantly tried to define him by gossip, that truth was worth more than anything else. Because in the end, Travis had drawn the line, and in doing so had drawn a path to love, trust, and peace that no rumor or celebrity drama could ever erase.